Unscripted, unshackled, uncouth.
What you're about to hear is for more mature audiences only.
It's Miguel and Holly, Uncensored.
Well, hello and welcome to Miguel and Holly Uncensored. It is our off-air podcast that we do 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. God willing, if everything is normal.
Yes.
Kelvin is in Las Vegas right now.
Woo, lucky ducky.
Yes, he's there for a bachelorette party for his best friend Dia. That's super exciting. Make sure to listen to all of our other podcasts that we have, like Miguel and Holly Full Show, Miguel and Holly Queen City Confessions, The Check-In, where we put all of those segments together for the full show, and then you can listen to them separately. Make sure to just leave us a rating, please, on any of the podcasts that you listen to. And also, you can join our Platypus Posse Miguel and Holly Fam Facebook group as well. And we're streaming live. So lots of different things in the Miguel and Holly universe.
I mean, if you can't find something, like, it's probably for lack of looking. You didn't do like a Google search or something.
Like literally just type in Miguel and Holly in Google and there's like podcast, video, boop, 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 boop.
You'll find it. You'll find something.
So we'll be talking with soul worker Stacy here in just a second. But Holly, we were just talking about, there's a lot of technical things I was just doing behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And I was just saying that I should have on my business card, morning show host and technical director.
Yeah, you're doing a lot of the technical behind the scenes stuff, which I feel bad that I can't really assist with, but I'm very impressed by you doing it. And I was saying like how far we've come. Like we're about to set up like a whole technical display of like audio, visual, all this stuff. And back in 2008, the best we did was had a media bag. We had this thing called a media bag that we would cart around with us. And God knows there was like all kind of wires and cords and microphones and plugs and cables. And Miguel reminded me that we used to have a microphone that was disguised as a pen.
Yes.
So we could tuck it into like a shirt pocket and like get secret audio from people, which by the way is illegal.
Like one day we need to have Kramer on again just to go through some of these stories. That's who we used to work with back in the day. He has a podcast called Certified Mama's Boy and Kramer and Jess Uncensored that they do sort of similar to ours.
Yeah.
But we should like do a split one. But I remember like when I first moved to Panama City in the summer of 2008 and you'd already been there. And I remember going to a bar. And I couldn't even tell you where it is now, even though I know Panama City like the back of my hand.
Was it Newbies?
It was.
Miss Newbies Liquor. Yeah.
But it was
that jingle as my ringtone.
Oh, those back in the day.
Anyway, did you bring the media bag?
No, so I had the secret mic pen, the lapel pen, and it would look like a writing pen, and you could hear audio on it. And I went to this dive bar, and I remember I had to ask this patron something. I don't remember what the question was, but get secret audio back. And I remember feeling so bad as I'm sitting at this bar talking to this man, secretly recording him. I'm like, I could go to jail.
You could have,
but I didn't know. I was 22. It was
we
a long
didn't
time
know
ago.
Shit.
No,
none of us knew nothing about like we got this pen off of eBay. I'm pretty sure because Amazon didn't exist the way it does now.
No, and
like we were just like, this is how we're gonna get audio. We had this recorder and we could get this like we were on Maury Povich. Like our career, if we need to write down some stuff, I'm telling you what, like nowadays,
those were the days.
Everything we did then would not fly now. That's all I'm going to say.
I'm glad that audio is not posted anywhere. Real quick roll call for everyone watching so far. And it's commented Zinda, Shannon, Alexis, Doe Eyes. It says Facebook user. So I'm going to assume that's maybe Jason Hull. Deanna saying this is the first time watching. Love you guys. Hi, Stacy. Quadri saying I kind of miss Scotty too. We do miss Scotty as well.
We do. I saw him last week and he is good. I miss his energy. Yes. I miss his light and his spirit.
That's our old producer for the Charlotte folk. Good morning, guys. Hernan checking in and Amy Gordon checking in as well. Without further ado, let's bring her on to the podcast. The one, the only Miss Soul Worker Stacy.
Woo!
Yes, and on video for the very first time.
On video, no less.
Hi, guys. How are you?
Wonderful. How are you?
I can't complain. Life is good.
I love it. I love being able to see you and not just like staring at Holly's face or my face. I mean,
we're just like weirdly looking at each other as all this talking is going on, but that's fine.
I'm loving the Halloween shirts. Amazing.
Oh, yes. I have on, for those of you listening, I have on, Stacy just put on some cat ears.
Yes.
I love it. I have on my Michael Myers Halloween Inn shirt. Holly,
I didn't know what that was. Honestly, I couldn't tell. Y'all gonna make me lose my mind. And it's the headless horseman because he lost his mind. Get it?
Also, and I'm sorry for people that are listening.
Oh my God, this is getting worse and worse for people. Like I can't. Maybe we need to really figure out how to make it better for people that are like listening on the iHeart podcast.
That means you should just go watch it again on YouTube.
No.
And I have a Michael Myers mask. By the way, be checking out my Instagram at Miguel Fuller this weekend. I scared a bunch of people in the office yesterday, Holly. You don't even know this. It was fantastic. So anyway.
What is wrong with you?
I'm getting into the Halloween spirit.
Producer Kelvin has entered the chat and he said, bleep that mask.
Oh.
He's obviously watching on Facebook as he is in Vegas.
Yes, girl, get off of here. Go get drunk. Stacy.
Miguel, how are you? Hi.
Halloween, the veil is lifted, right? What do you expect this Halloween season?
It's interesting because this is a funky time of year. Even if you're watching TikTok and such, everyone's talking about like this weird energy. Everything's in Scorpio. Everything's like kind of funky. And I think it's perfect for Halloween. It kind of just gives that vibe of like things being kind of off, but still kind of good, if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm. Now, you sent me a picture earlier that I had forgotten about. You've come into contact, obviously, because you communicate with those that have passed on, but have some of those spirits not been so kind, not been so nice and friendly?
I was literally thinking about this morning, and hence why I sent you that picture. It's one of those things that I do believe. My personal opinion is some people don't always make it to completely the other side. And some people are kind of left in the midst of both worlds, if that makes any sense. That picture that I happened to send you was somebody who may or may not be on the complete other side, and they were just letting their presence known. And yes, I have come across a lot of negativity and a lot of heavy spirits that I go out of my way to avoid by all costs. But yes.
And describe the picture for me. I'm going to put it up here on the screen in a second.
There is a man's face in the middle of a fireplace, but not just a fireplace. The fire is burning, and there is a legit man's face sitting inside of the fire.
Like Sirius Black from Harry Potter when he used to come visit Harry. Like what?
It's a thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's creepy. It's creepy.
Describe like when you saw that and like what were the circumstances behind it?
It was actually quite interesting. As I was sitting, it was this week, and I was sitting in front of this fire because I live in Florida, and anything under 60 degrees, you get a fire going, as anyone knows who lives here. So I was like, oh, we're going to start a fire. And I went to go take a picture for a friend saying, look what I'm doing today. And when I went back to send the picture, the face was there. And I'm like, ooh, hello. Yeah, it's a whole thing. People always need to go back and look at their pictures and see what's around them, because they'll make their appearances. They'll say hello.
And when people say stuff about like, oh my gosh, there's an orb, like, is that actually someone trying to come through from the other side, or is it dust?
I always thought energy. It was energy.
Energy. And then it's like not always necessarily. Y'all got to remember, people who have passed on, it's just like walking by somebody on the street. It may not be necessarily anybody you specifically know. We're all hanging out in the same level, if that makes any sense. Alive, past, whatever. It's the energy is all still there. So if you're seeing orbs, It may not be like your grandmother who's passed away. It could be somebody who lived in the house 90 years prior. Who knows?
Wow.
Got it.
That's so fascinating to me how that works.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this is the part where we are going to turn over the podcast to you, Stacy. And I'm going to make you big here so people can see you.
Hello.
And we're going to talk to Samantha. Samantha, hello.
Hi.
All right. Let's make sure all the technological parts are here. Can you hear Stacy? And Stacy, can you hear her?
Hi, Sam. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Good. Yes, I think we can hear each other.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So this
We're
is
all
the
set.
part where Holly and I are going to step back and we are just listening in on your session.
Hello. Okay, so I need to let you know that I work solely and strictly with God. You're always in charge of your own fate. You're always in charge of your own destiny. I am random. Things will fly through my head. I believe that it's one of those things that God comes to me and shows me pictures or whoever, whatever, but I see things, feel things, know things. And sometimes it's not 100%. Sometimes it is. It's just one of those things of like, we're going to talk it out. And if it doesn't resonate with you, if you're not feeling it, please use your words. Don't be shy. No one's going to have hurt feelings. I need to know because I can also feel people through people. And as soon as I start to hear your voice, I immediately go, okay, there's a woman. Did you lose a grandmother or an aunt, if you don't mind me asking, on your mom's side?
Yes.
Was this
my grandmother?
I was going to say, but this was like your grandmother. Was this more recent than, it's not one of those things. It doesn't feel like she passed 20 years ago. It feels more recent. Does that make sense to you?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
She passed away a little over a year ago.
Okay. I need you guys to know that everything is said and done the way it was supposed to. I guess, and I don't know how to explain this. It's actually kind of odd to me. I've never had this feeling before. It's almost like somebody was afraid that things didn't get done the way that it was supposed to be done. Like there wasn't clear instructions. Does that make sense?
Yes. From my grandmother?
Yes. For like what to do after she passed.
Maybe for me, I hadn't seen her for a few years, for probably almost 5 years.
I want you to oh, that makes so much more sense to me. Okay. So can I just be as random as I can with you?
Yes.
First and foremost, it's all these apologies from that. It's like she holds responsibility too for not, I don't know if she had Alzheimer's. I don't know what's going on, but it's like something kept her from being able to reach out, if that makes any sense. And she's apologizing for this. She's also trying to give you love and trying to let you know that I guess what you've done from there on, because I guess you've made decisions. I don't know how else to explain this, but it's like the book has opened and she's like, she's so proud because you're making steps forward for bigger, better, more. Do you have a little girl?
Wow. Yes, I have. 3 girls alive, but I have a daughter that passed away.
You need to know that she has a little girl.
Oh, wow. Yes, there was a big, my mom passed away when I was 10, and there was a big falling out in my family. So when my grandmother got sick, she moved with my aunt that I didn't get along with, and that's kind of what kept us from seeing each other for so long.
I need you to know that that love that she has for you is so deep. And it's interesting because, and this is probably why I feel the way that I do with this. As far as your mom is concerned, sometimes if you all have had sessions with me and whatnot, this is what I do. And it's only because there's so much at one time. And with you, there's a lot at one time. I'm going to start blurting out different things that I want you to kind of put the puzzle pieces together for me. Which one of how old was your daughter when she passed? Because there's this big, heavy presence of not being able to wake up. Like they fell asleep and woke up in heaven. And I almost want to put that into being your daughter.
Yes, she was 3 months old.
Okay. I need, it's one of those things like all of this happens to her life wouldn't be as hard as it could have been. Like, I don't know where you are in the religion aspect and all that stuff. And I don't even really, it's not the religion, it's the relationship kind of thing. But it's one of those things of like, I don't know how to experience this. That prevented a more painful, more difficult death later on in her life if she had not passed. Does that make sense?
Wow. Yes.
There's never a day that she, and it's almost like, say that again.
That just makes me feel better because I think about that. It's been almost 12 years and it's still very heavy.
Of course, it's your baby. And it's interesting because I'm just going to say it. I'm the breath, I'm the air, I'm the wind, I'm the sounds of the wind. So I think of like wind chimes as like the soft breezes of the trees. That's, you feel her within that.
Yes. Wow. You know, my mother loved wind chimes. Like, she collected them.
I'm not surprised by that then. Thank you. Okay. It's so deep. Now, did your mother pass before your baby? Because it's one of those things like your mom helped everybody get into heaven. And it's one of those things like she was the welcoming committee. She's like, hey, I'm good. I'm here and come with me. It's okay. Did you? All right. And I want to ask you, you also lost your grandfather too?
Yes.
But he was sick.
Yes, he was.
How did your grandmother pass?
She was also sick, but she had went blind a few years before that. But it wasn't like COVID or anything. She was just a lot older.
I was going to say, if she was just old, it was like her body just gave up on her.
Yes.
And she keeps apologizing for the end. So whoever that resonates with, please hold on to that. But just know how much she loved you. It didn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether or not she was talking to you. That love, that bond that she always had for you is still there 100%. I also need you to know that those girls are protected by their sister and that she's always with them.
I gotcha.
And it's interesting because
I talked about her a lot.
Yeah, I was going to say one of them sees her. And when I was asking about the little girl, I was holding up my fingers for two because I was getting the message of like, I'm with them. I play with them.
Wow. Yes.
There's nothing you could have done different for that whole situation with that baby. I'm so sorry you've had to go through all of that.
I've wondered if I had done something different. I always see like because I left to work early that day and I had a bottle that I was going to feed her and I didn't. And I don't know, that always comes to mind. Like, What if I would have done that? I don't know.
It's sincerely, it was just her time. It was one of those things of a sacrifice so she wouldn't have to go through more later.
Yeah. Well, that makes me feel really good because it was peaceful. Like there was nothing, suffering or anything.
No, she just literally woke up in heaven. So are you going and moving, or are you trying to build onto your house, if you don't mind me asking?
No, we closed on our house finally last year.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It was a lot of work.
It is a lot of work, and it's like blood, sweat, and tears just keeps coming to my mind, and I need you to know that all worked out the way that's supposed to. Also, your person is your person is your person. Stop second guessing that. You guys are going to go through your rougher times, but they're not going anywhere.
Okay.
So do you have any questions?
No, I think.
I feel like
thank you.
Samantha's like, girl, I don't even know who I am, what I am,
no.
what's going. I mean,
I know.
Samantha, obviously. So Holly and I are here. Holly,
I'm sorry. I thought my microphone was off when I blew my nose. But
no, I had to turn you down. All I heard was
I apologize
in the background.
I had to blow my nose. I have been crying.
It's
I
fine.
thought I turned it off, but I didn't.
Samantha, how are you feeling after hearing all of this?
Really, I think at ease.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I was very nervous because I've been emotional lately, and I knew I thought my mom would come up, but I think at ease a lot because hearing you say that she passed away and woke up in heaven just made me feel so much better after all this time.
Yeah.
Mm. Well, Samantha, I know that you are new to the Miguel and Holly fam and sort of how we do things. We're a different type of morning show, but know that we are literally emotionally, spiritually putting our arms around you and giving you a big old neck hug right now, because all of us listening, watching right now, we just went through that with you, and we're feeling what you're feeling. So just know that you got some people that have never met you, don't know what you look like, but we are giving you so much energy right now.
Well, thank you. And I definitely feel it. Thank you, Stacy, too.
Thank you, Samantha. And I'm sending you so much love. So much love. And sincerely, you'll be being in my thoughts.
Thank you.
All right, Samantha, you have a great weekend, okay?
Okay. You guys too.
All right. Great.
Sorry, I blew my nose. Sorry, I thought I turned it off. Sorry.
No, it was actually very slight because you like went off to the side. So
I did.
And I apologize because I like zone out to work. I just realized I'm like, I'm not even looking at the camera. I'm just doing my thing. So I apologize. But yeah.
Not even there.
Well, and that's why I wanted to do this on video, because hearing it is one thing, and I've seen you do it in person, but you can like see it's almost like you're in a trance, and it's like you are just trying to take all of these pieces and interpret them as best as possible. But then with you also being a perfectionist, and this is obviously someone's emotions on the line in their life, you know, you want to, you know, make sure that you're handling it with care. And so I think it's fascinating to sort of physically see you do it in person.
I love this. Thank you so much, you guys.
No, absolutely. Are you ready for the next?
Let's go.
All
this
right.
is gonna be fun. All right.
There we go. Seda?
Yes, hi, I'm here.
All right. So like we said earlier to Samantha, Holly and I are here, but we are stepping back, and it's just you and Soul Worker Stacy.
Okay, perfect.
Hey, Seda, how are you?
I'm doing well, Stacy. How are you?
I'm good. Don't be nervous. You're not allowed. Completely against the rules.
Okay.
So here's the deal. I work solely and strictly through God, with God. I'm basically a radio of heaven. You're always in charge of your own fate. You're always in charge of your own destiny. Bear with me. Keep an open mind. Keep an open heart. And just sincerely go with this, because you carry a lot on top of you that you don't necessarily share with the world. So I'm going to try to keep this as censored as possible, but at the same time, try to help you get some kind of peace with everything going on in your life. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. First and foremost, I don't know why I need to say this to you. And even before I got on this today, I was feeling you. Did your dad pass, or was this like an uncle? Or, I mean, this is like a huge male influence in your life. Who passed? That was the man.
My dad died when I was 8.
I need you to know he's held your hand through every event in your life since. And you have something that you bring with you, or you carry, or it's like a penny. I don't know how to explain it, but I keep wanting to put something in my pocket from remembering him.
Well, I'm Turkish, so we always have the evil eyes. And so I always carry one in my car or my purse.
Okay.
To remind myself of him in our family.
Because it's like, I just keep wanting to put everything in my hand. Like, okay, he's with me, like that kind of thing. I also want you, did you name your son after him, or was he named after his family? Like, there's a name that carries on very strong, and he's proud of this name.
My son's name is Aiden, and in Turkish, there is also Aiden, and we just went with that because that was the only Turkish American name that we could come up with.
Well, just please know that he is completely supporting this name, and he loves it. And he says that you see his eyes through him.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that's very true.
Just know that this is one of those validations of like, hey, he's never far. It's so much support, and you have so much strength. Okay. This is going to sound weird, and I have to be careful with how I say this. Is there any possibility of a baby, or do you have a little girl?
Yes, I have a 6-year-old daughter.
Okay. Know that she is 100% okay. Push her, but don't push her far. Don't be bossy with her. Allow her to be the free spirit that she is, and just kind of like advise, but don't push. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. She's definitely something different. She's bossy herself.
I was gonna say she has to be, and she dances, and I keep seeing her twirling, 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 twirling. So it's like she just dances and she swings, and she's a beautiful butterfly, and she has to have that freedom to do that. Does that make sense?
Yes, I agree.
Okay. How old is your son?
My son is 9.
Okay. He's very strong, but extremely hard on himself. Just remind him of his worth, and he kind of needs little nudges of like, hey, you're doing good. You're doing good. You're doing good. He is the like perfectionist of all perfectionists, and he holds everything inside like you do. Okay. So this whole thing with your father, I'm intrigued by this. Who has his shirt, or who has like the blanket of him? Because I keep wanting to put myself in his arms or like in a blanket of him. Somebody like sits and smells him.
Oh, that's so funny you say that, because he always wore a cologne, and whenever he came into the house and would leave, come in and out, I can still smell it, and to this day, I still remember what that smells like.
That's him. Yeah. All right. Please just know that that's validation too. I don't know why, and so interesting. I keep seeing suitcases around you. And with that, it's either you're coming from a trip or you're planning a trip. But everything, and all I have to say with this message is breathe. Everything will go better than you expect.
Thank you. Thank you. No trips, but I do have some legal stuff that I'm going through. So definitely need all
Why are you packing all this away? I don't know how else to explain that. It's like you're packing up. I don't know why I need to say it like this. Either you're packing stuff up, or you're reserving. I don't know why I have to say it like that, but it's one of those things of like everything will end up in your favor.
Okay. Good. Yeah, I probably, because I tend to hold a lot inside, and then it gets to the point I just kind of almost burst. I don't know if maybe that's something to do with it.
Absolutely. What kind of questions do you have?
I'm not sure. Everything you said was just kind of so spot on. I'm just kind of, surprised and happy.
I keep smelling food. Did your grandmother also pass on your mom's side?
She did. Yep.
Was she the cook?
99. Yep, she was.
Because she keeps making me smell food. It's like, here, taste, smell. Like, I don't know how else to explain it, but she's also with you. I guess you cook a lot of like her, or you try to, or you have specific recipes, but she's showing me like the copy of you doing things that she would do.
Yes. That's my mother and myself and my grandmother. We all try to cook our Turkish meals, and they're way better than I am. But yeah, that's spot on.
Don't sell yourself short, sweetheart. Please do not sell yourself short. Well, thank you so much for this.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Hey, Seda, Miguel and Holly hopping back in. How are you feeling after all of that?
I'm feeling, I'm happy. Tears came out at first because it was just so spot on. And like, I haven't really talked about my dad in a while. But what she said, I mean, it was really good.
I'm so curious. Have you ever interacted with a radio show before this way, like called in or, got on their social media or anything?
No, never.
You know what?
Weird how that happens.
Literally in my little book, I've talked about this before. Every day I write in my book when I get here in the morning, and I write today's date, and I write my intention for the show. And my intention today was to bring joy to someone having a bad day. I didn't know what that was going to be. I didn't know how or what or where or when or why. Hopefully we were able to do that for you today, Seda.
Yes, you absolutely did. Thank you so much for letting me have the experience with Stacy.
Absolutely.
Good. Well, I'm so glad we could.
Welcome to the Miguel and Holly fam. We're glad to have you in the fold, and we're giving you a big old neck hug.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. You have a great weekend, okay?
Thanks. You too. Thanks, Stacy.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Girl, you just on fire today, girl.
2 for 2. I'm crying and blowing my and like just man, that veil is thin. Wow. It's I like when, because and this is no, that's not a disparaging remark or anything, but when people can kind of work with you in the space of being vulnerable, it goes so well. Because I have been to, sorry to say, Stacy, before you, I've been to another psychic medium, before.
You know how I am.
Stacy.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
And I was a skeptic. I was very skeptical at some points, and I would just sit back and be like, well, tell me my things. Having met you and having understand how this works now, it just works so much better when there's a little bit of give and take, and the person being read can help fill in the gaps. What I was such a perfect example of that, I thought, was in Sada's reading, where you were like, okay, so there's luggage. There must be a trip like before or after. It's going to be fine. And she was able to navigate by being like, well, I have a legal matter. And like to someone random, they'd be like, that is not the same thing at all. But it is. You know how many documents there are that are often in cases or files or briefs or briefcases in a legal case, and that's any legal issue is usually very heavy. Like luggage is heavy, and you're bringing it with you here, there, everywhere. It's never not with you. So I thought that was a perfect example of like how this works. So like, no, she wasn't planning a trip, but how are you supposed to know that? Because all you can feel is that heavy baggage, but the baggage was actually a metaphor for what that is going through. And so someone could just have been like, nope, not going on a trip, but it's like the working through it.
Absolutely. And the thing that I find myself, I'm a very logical person. I'm a very black and white. That's the end of it. So what I do is crazy to me. So I'm constantly trying to poke holes in it before anybody else can. Trust me. And when I get somebody who's on the phone who is like, yeah, no, we're good. I have literally stopped sessions midway and be like, you know what? This isn't working. I hope you have a great day, because they're not in the mindset to receive. And it's not
Right.
even, and it's crazy because some people make sessions for me just to speak to their Aunt Gertrude, or they want to know about their love life. It's not up to you about that session. It's not going to be up to you about what your ego wants. It's going to be about what your soul needs to hear. Hence why I soul work. And it's extremely important to like have that open mind to, there are things that maybe be on the forefront of our minds that are so materialistic that we don't even pay attention to. In the meantime, we're stuffing back the emotional crap that we don't want to deal with. And my job is to pull out that emotional crap so the other stuff will work out. So
Right.
It's intense.
Right. And it is. And I do remember, like, when I was really young, I had gone to this woman who allegedly was really good in the middle of Fostoria, Ohio. I know this, whatever. And I went in and I was like, well, what about my love life? I want to know how I was going to end up. I was like 24, by the way. And I didn't realize how it does. And like, I didn't realize till I met you how it does work. But I was like, asking all these questions that she wasn't a crystal ball, right? Like you have a gift. And it just is it's so different than what most people think it is, probably due to movies and, literature and whatever and things like that. But yeah, so just the fact of I'm here. What did I bring with me today? You tell me, and then let's work on what I need to work on, not like what's on top of mind necessarily.
Exactly. And the other thing too, the one thing that I always urge everybody in the spiritual realm, regardless of religion or anything, is everything is up to interpretation. I only see things of how I think of things. So what I'm getting is what I'm seeing, and my interpretation can be completely different than somebody else's. So keeping that open mind,
experiences are different.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's incredible how it all works. It really is.
Heather said during my session, I didn't get all I wanted, but I got all that I needed to hear.
I always say expectations or planned disappointments. Guide open with your soul, not even your heart, because your heart can deceive you. You just have to be good with yourself and be ready. And a lot of people are really intimidated by coming and getting sessions. And there's not been maybe one person who was like, yeah, no, that wasn't good. But most people that I do talk to, they're like, whoa, like this is life changing. It just sits in a whole different perspective. And I always say my personal belief is it's God. It's that upper person or universal thing that comes to me and says, hey, let's help them through this. Like getting somebody who never interacts in a radio show to call today. That was divine intervention.
Yeah. I mean, we literally just, because we've had some people from the past, but something was like, oh, just go ahead and put it out there this morning for someone listening that's completely new, that's fresh, never done it, and just see. And I was like, Holly, just get on Instagram real quick and see who responded first.
Yeah.
Boom.
It worked out.
It's so great.
Oh,
I love this.
Stacy, before we go, is there anything with me that you feel?
Do you want the censored version or do you want?
Oh no, I want the real version. I want the uncensored version.
It's interesting, and I'm going to be completely bluntly honest with you because we are friends. It's so cool, first of all, to see you because I get to see you every once in a great while, but this is great. But it's like you have shedded all of the BS that you were holding together for what you thought people would want to see. And now you're like, I'm just who I am. Kiss it. Like, we're good. And you're finally showing that bright light that you and I talked about a while ago. You're finally like, that's right. This is who I am. And you're owning it. And I love that. And there's so much good coming from you. And you're making those differences. And I'm so proud of you. Like, yay. But yeah, you have gone through such an amazing transformation. And that's going to continue to grow and continue to keep going. I'm intrigued, though, because there's a lot. You have family who've passed around you. So I don't know if there's someone's birthday coming up or what, but it's almost like they're trying to celebrate with you what's going on in your lives and with your mom and stuff. So I'm intrigued by that.
My grandma's birthday would be coming up here very soon, where she had 2 birthdays because she thought she was born her whole life. And then sometime in the 90s, she had to get her birth certificate to go on a cruise and found out that it was a month later than what she thought it was. And she was like, what? And so I don't even know like which one is her real one. So on both days, I would always call and be like, happy birthday.
You get 2 birthdays.
You get 2 birthdays. So that is coming up. Yeah,
she's making a big deal out of that. And it's one of those things like she's really on your mom right now. So that's just, it's beautiful to me.
I love that.
So,
well, thank you, Stacy.
Yeah.
Wait, no, I don't know about me.
Do you want to know Holly? I didn't know. Holly, I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to go. I don't want to go there because that's why I was like,
so much shit going on. I talked to Stacy about the personal private shit and text messages, so it's fine. But like for the most part, the stuff that I go to Stacy about is like stuff for my relationship and my partnership and the struggles that we go through together. But we never really touch on just like my own stuff or any of like, I don't know, stuff from beyond for me. So I'm just curious if you have anything.
Everyone's trying to, okay. So there are different changes going on with people related to you that is coming into a more difficult season. So brace yourself.
Oh, good.
Oh, girl, no! Give this bitch a break.
Well, I had 2 good months, Miguel.
Oh, at least you have me.
People living people that I know that things are going to get like a little rocky.
That you're related to. Yes. Like you have grandparents coming forward going, okay, now it's level up. You had your break and things are going to start kind of moving into a direction of more difficulties. And especially your grandmother's just going, breathe. This is going to be easier than you think it's going to be. Just breathe. I'm with you. Your munchkin, she is just the light of like love. And it's really, you and I have never talked about your grandmother on your mom's side before.
No, I don't think we have.
I know. And it's like, she's just all over this. Like, I'm realizing like, she doesn't even feel familiar to me. I don't think you and I have ever talked about her.
Well, we had like one actual session and then we haven't had a session before. No, I really don't think I mean, obviously she's passed.
Yeah. But it's interesting because it's like, she's like trying to literally pull you through everything you're going through.
Oh, that's so interesting. Because she's like Miss Party Girl as a, you know, in life. And she had not necessarily, from what I now understand, been a great mom, but she always was a pretty good grandmother to me. That's my Nana. So I had a lot of good memories and good comforts from her, even though maybe my mom and her sister and brother did not.
It's weird because she's apologizing for the difficulties of which you faced. And now to make up for it, she's trying to pull you through the challenges with you and walk with you to help you heal.
Okay, Nana, I see. Well, that's good.
She got her hair red, and
her red hair. She is a firecracker. She was just go.
She said, "I'm ready to party." Well,
but I will literally have to text you more later because I'm like all of a sudden I'm like, whoa, there's
Okay,
so,
yeah. And
that's
intriguing.
intriguing.
Hopefully that would be Nana. I mean, I obviously had another grandmother. I never knew her.
No, this is strictly related to your mother. All of this is about your mom. Like all of this is related to that whole thing. So it's very interesting because she's like, this is my fault. I should have been better. I should have done more. And now I have to make up for her. And this is why I have to walk with her and pull her through things.
Oh, man. Well, Stacy, I'm going to buckle up then. That's just great.
That's it, baby. Smile and nod.
Like, Miguel, you tell, like, it's not Stacy's fault. She's like, what am I supposed to do? Can't give her a break.
All right. Before we let you go.
Yes.
Stacy, you're gonna play a little game with us, okay?
Oh boy,
I'm down. Let's do it.
We have to do one. Wait, hold on. I wasn't prepared. I was what?
Guys, breaking news.
What?
Tom Brady and Giselle Bundchen announced their divorce.
Oh,
I feel some type of way. Okay, it's fine. It doesn't really.
How did you not see that coming?
No, I did, but I was just, it hadn't been official yet, and I was really kind of holding out hope or whatever, but I knew it was going to happen, so I just
breaking news.
Break that news.
Real quick. Holly, explain the game that we've been playing over the past couple of weeks to Stacy.
All right, so
and
Miguel,
I'm only going to do one.
Oh, okay. Miguel's going to have a scenario that would play out in a scary movie, right? So think of like a slasher flick or a horror movie or whatever. There's always like a villain, like a murderer or whatever, something. So he's going to read us this scary movie scenario. And then we have to say what we would do to survive in it. Is that right?
I am totally here for this. All right, let's do this.
Okay, hold on. I'm going through to seeing. We did the one about you run out of gas in the middle of nowhere. Okay.
Yeah.
Have we done the monster in the woods?
No.
Okay. All right, here we go. Let me get my music ready for the end of it. Okay. You're running from a monster through the woods. Having watched many horror films, you know you should expect certain things to happen as you try to get away. Name 2 of them and tell me what action should be taken to increase the chances of staying alive.
Oh, gee. All right.
You're running from a monster through the woods. Having watched many horror films, you know you should expect certain things to happen as you try to get away. Name 2 of them and tell me what actions should be taken to increase the chance of staying alive.
Got it.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Who wants to go first? Stacy?
I have an axe on me. We're fine. Because I just keep thinking like branches come out from behind me. I'm like, no, we're good. Machete.
Okay, so branches taken out. You've got a machete with you. Got it.
I feel like Stacy would be great actually because she'd be like, wait, I feel his grandma telling him to go left, so we go right.
That's right.
Okay.
Holly?
Okay, here's one of them that's going to happen per scary movie lore. I'm running through the woods. There's a monster chasing me. I'm going to fall into a pit.
Oh, yeah.
So
So
there's always a damn pit somewhere. So like in the woods, and it's probably like slimy and slippery and hard to get out of, right? But I like, do you pre-plan or like how do you prepare for this, or are you just supposed to like MacGyver it once you get down?
I guess MacGyver it. I mean, I'm imagining like, let's say it's early in the morning on the way here. You know, we're surrounded by woods from our radio station here in Charlotte. So like if it's just like you're about to reach the door to get inside, and all of a sudden the monster comes, and so you can't go inside. He's blocking the door, so you have to run through the woods. And so all you have is like your work bag with you and your purse. That's all you have.
All right, good. I got it. I got my purse. So I fall into this hole, and then the monster doesn't see where the hole is. So maybe he goes off in another direction. While he's doing that, and I'm buying some time, I grab my purse. and I have it here. And so then I like use it to like grab onto like a branch. And then I stick my foot in it and I crawl out of the pit.
Yes.
But then I make noise and then I'm like, hey, help. And then he comes running towards me and then he falls in the pit and then I can run away.
Ah.
I mean, maybe.
I love it. That's the best scenario.
Resourceful.
I love it. Well, thank you for playing along with us, Stacy. We appreciate it. Soul Worker Stacy Renee. How can people get in contact with you if they want to book a session, Stacy?
Yeah, my website, soulworkerstacyrenee.com. Please go there, hit little book a session. I also am available for what I call soul socials, which are little parties. And believe it or not, people don't know this either. I do somewhat life coaching as well. But all of that's all on my website. And you can please follow me on Instagram too, at soulworkerstacyrenee.
I love it. Holly, what's all of your social media?
Radio Holly on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram.
And Kelvin Live with his OnlyFans is at Kelvin Live.
He don't have no damn OnlyFans.
No, he doesn't. And mine is at Miguel Fuller. Make sure to follow the show everywhere. Stacy, have a beautiful Halloween.
You too. Bye, guys. Thank you.
Bye.
Miguel and Holly Uncensored.
App or anywhere you listen to podcasts.
Wait, hold on. I messed the ending up. I'm going to do it again. Hold on.
Miguel and Holly Uncensored.
Catch it on the iHeartRadio app or anywhere you listen.